Gulfstream Park.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome bay, with shafafa on the side.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and happy Friday. It is a glorious day again. A little bit hot, but that's okay. We're used
You
to
got a
it.
drop of schwitz on
Well,
your
I
nose
am
here.
schwitzing up
Wow.
a storm. That probably is related to my keto diet. All the protein is metabolizing in my system.
That didn't really look all that dietetic to me, what you were eating this morning there. The 2 pounds of blue cheese, I thought, wasn't necessarily conducive to losing weight. But you know what? Good luck with this, Michael.
We'll see
We
what
know that you
happens.
can stick to a commitment because insanely you attempted to do that. What you're giving up of drinking for Lent. And then what was it? You wouldn't eat matzah or something for a while? You had something else. Oh, and when you took on that other weight loss challenge.
Yeah, which was a miserable failure. I flamed out in the end, and somehow I ended up gaining weight instead of losing
You
weight.
came in looking like Butterbean Ash when we had the final weigh-in. It was unfortunate.
Well, I wanted to do this in a more stealthy way, but when I do a daily show, which revolves around eating, I can't kind of go underground on some sort of weird diet. But yeah, I am gone keto for the week, and so far it's been a big success.
Yeah.
Except for you guys trying to undo all my good work by saying,
Well, it's
"Here."
unfair to us to impose your, I mean, I understand. Look, you have people that don't eat meat, so
He's
you're not
getting
necessarily ordering the steak. I get it, but
I mean, Lubie's getting upset because I won't eat the tortilla shell with the fish taco yesterday at Deck 84. And again,
it was just the way you ate it in front of Bert Rappaport, who it seemed like a guy that could understand your normal, completely, irrational and uncouth approach to eating. But
people in the restaurant business get crazy. I mean, they understand crazy, and they're around it all day between guests and workers and chefs and things like that. And yeah, so he probably wasn't too fazed by me. But again, we thank Bert Rappaport and the people.
what a
Deck
great
84.
guy, huh?
Yeah, he's a cool cat. He seems like he's a classy dude, but like he was telling those stories, he definitely has a back history of some young what do you call it?
He was running in Miami at the time
days.
in the early '80s. That's when I
Yeah.
moved here. Believe me, it was an entirely different atmosphere.
Yeah.
It was hard to
And
stay straight. It really was.
You were trying to undo me yesterday with shoveling carbs in my mouth, and then I went out with Dickstein and we went to this place. I kind of did a little bang because I wanted to check out this place that's closing this weekend called Brighton Beach Bagels and Seafood
How is
in
it?
Delray.
Yeah.
And I've been meaning to get. I didn't realize it opened up in 2017. Oh, 16.
And they're already going under, or
7
are they
years.
sold?
It's a lease situation. The developer is redeveloping the plaza they're in, and even though they have a lease that goes longer than 7 years, they're buying them out, and now they're going to try to find a smaller place and they do these lobster rolls. So I went in there and I just wanted to try the lobster roll without the roll.
Without the lobster.
You just want
No,
a
without
lobster.
the lobster.
I'll have a lobster roll, hold a lobster. The guy goes, "Hey, Joe, can we do that back in the kitchen?"
You just wanted lobster,
I
no
was going to
roll.
hold the roll and do it in a lettuce wrap.
No.
And
get out of
Dickstein is with me, and he's like badgering me. He says, you got to put it in the roll. You got to eat half the roll. So
here.
Just
The bread
take
is
a
the
bite.
thing, though.
he's like the devil in my ear. And Dickstein,
Did he win out in the end?
I ate half the roll. Yeah.
Thank you, Steve.
Not only that, Dickstein is a wild man because
He's not like you described
Yeah,
him.
you
though.
described him
paint
a very
out.
weird way
Yeah, yeah.
than he was. Like
well,
maybe
I
you
don't know
get the
how I
worst of
describe
him.
him. I
but
just say he's
You
a
make him
Dickstein.
sound like
He
a
feels very
neurotic,
nebbishy the way
Jewish,
you
psychotic,
describe him.
nebbish.
No, he's not a nebbish at all.
He's
He's
not
a big
at all.
macher. He was a Hollywood producer type. He did commercials,
Yeah,
advertising,
he's one of these guys who snaps his
movies.
fingers. The limo shows.
He's used to having that kind of Hollywood lavish budget. Snap your fingers.
Right,
And
he didn't realize how badly he was overpaying you yet, though. That's just a good thing.
no, but yesterday is funny because he has that big macher mentality. We sit down. He gets this platter of like a fried scallops and shrimp platter.
Yeah.
And it didn't have tartar sauce, so he summoned one of the guys who brought him the dish and said, "Do you have? I need some tartar sauce." And then the guy didn't come back right away. He must have
he
forgot
goes
him.
crazy, yeah.
And he's just started going, "Sir,
Do you know who I am?
I need tartar sauce. It's an essential component of the dish."
Hey, you may not be wrong about that, yeah, but you wanted to cower in
Says it
fear
like
and
that,
get out of there.
exactly.
I thought it was me. Who uses that language? It's an essential component.
I'll
Sounds
say
like a
this:
Seinfeld
never,
episode.
never has cauliflower tasted so good
Yeah, they do a great
as
job
it
with
did
that.
at Deck 84. That cauliflower dish, whatever the hell that was called. I mean, I've had crispy, kind of fried cauliflower that had sort of a, I don't know, did it have a little Asian kind
Yes,
of?
I think
that's
he
what
had
it was.
Yeah, he had a little.
Wow, that
The
was good. I mean,
teriyaki kind of a
the
thing.
way
Nice-
they did it was fantastic.
very
Absolutely.
nice
Yeah.
fried batter on it with a little bit of it. Looked like scallions on top. With a
I would
little
go
bit of
back there
some-
honestly just for that.
soy Asian sauce, but it was very tasty. I mean, I had to scrape off the batter, but that was okay.
Well, that was a joke. I mean,
Because they're strength.
By the way, I feel like I'm
like
schwitzing.
when I have my my grandson, we have to peel off the batter on chicken tenders.
Oh, really? He doesn't even
One
eat the
of
chicken
my
ten-
grandsons
Really?
won't eat the batter.
Kids
so-
love chicken
well,
tenders.
they're-
Yeah,
they
he's
have-
on a keto thing too,
They have
but he's skinny.
they have such a thing as grilled.
Yeah, why not get grilled chicken?
You know, they do.
They
that
don't do
at-
that on the kids menu.
Yes, they do.
Well, if you're like at a Bonefish Max or some places.
At
yeah, yeah.
Chick-fil-A, they have the
Chick-fil-A
grilled.
does.
The grilled nuggets along with the fried nuggets. And
The times I've seen them though, I mean, it wasn't available, and so I mean, but that's a weird thing. I mean,
Yes.
you're taking off the best
for a
part.
youngster,
Yes.
it's a very weird thing.
Kids usually
They
love that
For a
stuff, yeah.
dog, it's a weird thing. They want the fried stuff, even though it's no good for them.
So we're here at Gulfstream Park. It's my favorite hour
How's
of the
the
week.
Bloody Mary by Helen, by the way?
Bloody Mary.
Is
Nando,
that taps or the anthem that's
okay,
playing?
first of all,
They already
you go.
did the anthem. You missed the
Let's have a
cheers
description
to
here.
the weekend. This is my favorite hour of the week. But
time.
I feel like Richard Nixon in the 1960 debates with Kennedy. Did you see like a cascade of schwitz?
It's
falling
okay. You know
down
what?
my
Honestly,
forehead.
people, it is so hot in this location right now. I had to switch chairs
Boiling.
because when I sat down, I felt
I'm
like Ted
burning.
Bundy.
I think
Now,
I'm
it doesn't
burning,
mean
yeah.
it's not a great day to
It's a
come out
great
to the
day.
track
It's
because you can
beautiful.
pop an umbrella if you're somewhere
Yep,
else. But
yep.
for some reason, Mike Mayo loves the lighting out here and insists that we set up in the hottest bleeping spot that you could possibly pick out at this track, right? The Breezeway Bar. Breezeway?
Yes,
Breezeway?
We
I
may,
feel
we'll
like
be
I
Think
making
about
a
that. The
transition
Breezeway,
somewhere.
Mayo?
going
so.
forward,
Here's what
yes.
I'm thinking. Joe B.
That's why people gravitate there.
Joe Beja, the great director of food and beverage here at Gulfstream, he's away again this week at
We love you,
Pimlico. They're
That's gonna
the
be a circus.
It's
center
got to be
of the.
fun this weekend.
They're already
course,
racing there
We're
today.
all talking over each other, and I
We
bet
are.
the people are going to be snapping at us. I'm going to be sitting here and saying Joe B is up at the center of the horse racing universe this weekend. Pimlico Racecourse, Old Hilltop, Baltimore, Maryland. He's overseeing all the great food and beverage going on today. Black Eyed Susan Day. Defo, I think you've already had some success, right?
I bet the first race on the blind, I didn't have the graciousness of your brother providing us with. Oh, is it your brother that provides
It's
the free
Barrel,
form?
the great barrel.
Barrel Mayo, yeah, who I like a lot more than you, I have to say. He's no problem. He
He is
doesn't
the
snap
nice one.
back. Yeah, no, he's a good guy.
Even
He's a
my mother
sweetheart.
likes him
Yeah, he's a
more.
So,
sweetheart.
I did my usual thing. I'm looking at the board there. I figure out back wheel of favorite. There was a 4 to 5 shot out of the 13 hole on the turf, maybe compromised. Sure enough, came late, got second, and I cashed for a few bucks. So
Nice.
it's good.
Well,
Yeah.
it's always good to be
I
playing with,
reinvested right away in a couple of doubles.
with house money. I hit a little bit yesterday. I was playing the late races at Churchill Downs, so now I've got some house money for the Pimlico races again today. Black Eyed Susan for the fillies. Tomorrow, the Preakness Stakes, second leg of the Triple Crown. You can come out here to Gulfstream and play the races, and also sit up at 10
10
Palms,
Palms.
our spot where we're going to have our usual contest. We're going to have giveaways for 2 Sunday brunch vouchers, with all inclusive, including a mimosa, tax, and tip. And but they're going to be doing their buffet for the Preakness tomorrow, enhanced buffet, $65 per person. There is still availability up there. Plenty of beautiful indoor tables right overlooking the track. Some of them with TVs. They have the great buffet, $65, and I think they're going to have some crab dishes in honor
Oh,
of
nice.
Maryland and Preakness. And again, the Sunday usual buffet this Sunday, back to the $50 per person. We're going to have 3 of our previous contest winners being feeded this week.
You're gonna have a great time.
And so that's going to be great as usual. And we're going to be giving away this week's contest later in the show. And when Joe gets back after his whole, very hectic times up there at Preakness, but we're going to talk about maybe resituating for the summer months, because it is getting a little toasty out here on the track
New
apron.
location, definitely.
I feel like a
look at this.
marshmallow.
Yeah.
in the
I feel like I'm
middle
an
of the
NBA
camera.
player at the line, with the schwitz going down
I
the
look like
friggin'
Patrick
forehead.
Ewing out here, maybe with a few differences, but subtle. But I am schwitzing like Moses Malone.
I look like what's the Knicks coach? He looks like a schwitzy.
Oh, Tom
Tom
Thibodeau,
Thibodeau,
yeah.
No,
I
he
feel
looks
like
a
Tom
schlep.
Thibodeau
Yeah.
in a sauna right now.
Head
I
bent
probably
down.
look a little bit.
You didn't
like
ask me about my wrist, though, man.
We're
I'm
gonna
waiting
get
for the
there.
update.
We're going to get there, but hopefully we're going to get situated in the coming up weeks at Gulfstream in one of those outdoor boxes at 10
Nice.
Palms, overlooking the track and underneath some shade and cover with a beautiful breeze. You're right, breezy, breezeway, or anything.
Think of brown
with the breeze.
The word
Yep.
just implies mellow, nice
Yep.
little
Yeah.
island breeze coming your way.
I mean,
breezy.
it's the feeling
Pina
you get
colada in
here.
one hand, the girl in the other.
Got my Bloody
It's
Mary
great, yeah.
from Helen. Nando is on vacation, and they no longer operate the Tito's Raw Bar on the Fridays. They're still open on the weekends. But again,
The one, she's out there at the Tiki Bar, which is great. Helen cannot be just said like that, like Helen.
okay.
You got to go in the Helen voice. Helen! Because I always, every time I come in, Defo!
It's a Helen back.
Jersey, Kyle!
She
She's like old school
prepared
New York.
an
Yeah.
excellent Bloody
She's great,
Mary.
though, man. She's great.
I have myself. She even went and cut me up some celery because she's going. She knows I'm going keto.
I was
now.
hoping she would throw one of those blueberry muffins
Oh,
in
I
there.
had to throw a whole
Yeah, that would have been
lobster.
great, man. Well, what do you
lobster
really like in
tail.
a Bloody Mary in terms of the extras?
the vodka.
No, but I mean, when you're big on the veggie thing. I mean,
No, I like an olive, a pickled onion, celery.
all right.
If they do it with the seafood style with like a Old Bay shrimp or a crab leg sticking out of it, some of those, ultra deluxe Bloody Marys, I like all that. But
I got to give my compliments to one of our fine sponsors also, because I haven't quite finished off the vegetable pizza from the pizza
Jesus.
spot yet.
Wow,
I
you
still
still
have
have
a
that?
still have a slice left.
You were
I'd be on the
denying.
edge.
It's fine, but it's
You know what
been a
though?
week.
He
I think it's
has
been
it
10
seasoned
days.
perfectly.
Yeah. Okay.
So
yeah.
even in that guy that drove it home didn't realize the beauty of what he had in his possession there.
Still gonna harp
It's
on
kind
that
of like
guy?
he threw away a
it's
Mickey
weird.
Mantle rookie card because he was so worried of how it was in the car when he was slobbering and eating it while he was driving that if he had just saved it, put it in the fridge, and even toaster oven did a day later,
Yep.
phenomenal comeback this thing makes.
It's his prerogative to be completely wrong. Just
Or
like it
eat it
was
there.
the ref's prerogatives to be completely wrong. Can you imagine if they just let that overtime goal, the
Saved a
first
lot of us a
overtime
lot of
goal,
time.
stand?
We
it
would have
would've
seen the end of the
saved
game.
America, it would have saved us all time, aggravation, energy, sleep. I mean, how many wasted man hours of work today because
How do these
people are
guys do it,
walking
though?
around
I mean,
like zombies?
Thinking about playing like back-to-back NHL hockey
That's what they
games.
did.
yeah,
and then adding on, I guess, and in the history, that was the sixth longest game.
in Stanley
So
Cup
there were
playoffs.
2 games in the 30s that went 6 overtime periods. So there must
What
have been
did the
3
the
others that went 5.
Capitals
Yeah,
and Islanders. I
2000.
remember the
2000.
it was like
Capitals and
2000. Yeah,
Islanders.
they went 5.
They went very long. This
But is
almost
there a limit? Where do they cut it off? I mean, how long can you ask these guys,
as long as
you
it
know,
takes.
to keep going? I mean,
I love it. I
another
love that.
period would have. I mean, it's
it would have been
amazing these
dreadful.
guys were still, sort of razor sharp even in the end.
I love that component of playoff hockey where you play till the end. It's a fight till the finish.
I thought it was
no
like
shortcuts, none of these shootouts, none of these 3-on-3.
but maybe
gimmickry.
suspended somehow. I don't
I
know.
like the
No,
3-on-3.
no.
I disagree.
This is the component of who's the better condition, who is gonna drop.
I think you go rock paper scissors match or something after
Look,
4 periods.
we-
It was going to go to a 5th overtime.
We all fell by the wayside. Thank God for Matt Kachuk. And with 11 seconds left in the 4th overtime,
I wouldn't have
I
made
was-
it that far. Yeah.
I was already long passed out on my couch.
I did 3 diligently.
I did one.
I did the
Yeah,
same, and
yeah.
I was kind of nodding in and out, but I was always had one eye open. But then by the time we get the end of the third,
How many trips to the fridge?
Oh
3
no,
overtimes?
I didn't. I was
None?
done.
I mean, it was like
done.
it was 1 o'clock in the morning.
Come on, man.
And I was also like, I have this head cold, so I just don't have much of an.
You always
appetite,
have
so-
something working. That's what I love. You always have something.
Kinda
Stuff should
switch it
work.
out. Now that we're up to the health portion of the show,
I do want to hear about
So-
Defo.
I was diagnosed
going on with
finally.
the wrist?
I got a diagnosis as to what caused it. And the guy looked at me, Wednesday. I went in there, and he looks at my hand. He goes, "You're a 10-cent super player, aren't you?" And he assumed that this was carpal tunnel based on the fact that I was punching up too many 10-cent supers on the self-betting machine.
on the machine.
On the machine, yeah, because if
Not
you're
'cause
calling them out,
if you would do it
you
on your
can't go to
phone.
a window and start calling those out, can
But
you?
if you had the app, if you got it, to
Well,
20%,
same thing. I mean, you
no,
punch
then
it.
it's a thumb. You get the
Well, look at this.
thumb. Yeah, but this.
It
would
was
be
the most
better than
logical
this.
explanation I could think of. And I don't even bet that many 10-cent supers. But for the fact that I do, God should be punishing me. It's either that or my mother was right. That eventually, She thought it might affect my eyesight, but I think a chronic habit that I had as a kid that continued through my adulthood. Yeah.
So you go to the doctor and you say, it hurts when I do this. And he says, don't do this.
No, he just looked at me right away in disgust and said, 10-cent super player, huh? I was like, what? What are you, some kind of sick degenerate? I thought you were a hand specialist.
What's the cure for that?
Stop betting supers.
20 to win across the
That's
board.
it,
I mean,
man.
20 wins.
Start betting pick fives.
That's it. Just
know.
one motion. Start using your left hand. Start becoming ambidextrous.
Well, I've been using my left hand for certain things. I don't want to go into detail on that either. But the hand is actually kind of fine now. I just put the brace on because it seemed to maybe
safe.
help a little bit yesterday, and we'll see what happens.
So, I learned when I broke my wrist after taking that fall off the bike a couple of years ago, a couple of summers ago, and I broke my left wrist.
By the way, you have a towel I can borrow?
I need something.
I had napkins and I left the napkins.
I need a cut man and a
yeah, exactly.
towel.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I broke my left wrist. I'm a lefty, and it just is amazing.
You're a lefty?
Yeah, and
didn't
it's
realize
amazing to me all the things that you have to relearn. I mean, just even
impossible,
eating.
yeah.
I'm talking about eating. Never mind,
That's true.
No,
personal hygiene
I've
habits.
had to eat left-handed, cutting things
But-
left-handed and
And
stuff.
it just was disorienting because I lost complete use of it because it was in a cast. So
Yeah.
you try to have a steak where you use your elbow to
Oh,
brace
no,
the
it's
steak.
impossible,
or
man.
You're not having
How
a
about
steak.
shampoo where you're trying to squirt it out of a bomb, but you have it on your
Oh
arm?
yeah, how do you do?
And I actually have a decent left hand because of being a drummer as a kid. So I'm not ambidextrous or anything, but my left hand is functional.
Well-
and playing sports, obviously you use the left hand in certain things, but no, it's not easy to relearn everything.
So and it gives you an appreciation when you do have some sort of temporary malady
Ailment,
that
yeah.
you get it fixed. That people who have greater disabilities or that
Yeah.
they have to basically go through life. Some people lose the use of their hands or
It's
have
remarkable what people are
amputations,
capable of doing. It
and
really is.
they adjust and they
Yeah.
go forward. I would never do well like that because I would just be
You
like
just
No, you'd be
complaining and bitching
throwing
and
in a
moaning
towel
all
in
the way.
disgust. Yeah.
I would just be learning how to function on the
Certain
betting
things
app
you take very
with-
well, and other things that don't sit well with you.
That's
Yeah.
it. But hey, should we start the contest?
I would
or-
like to do
Yeah, I
the-
didn't even. You know what? I mean,
tip
we're having
one.
so much fun out here, switching away that
can't
I
even
forgot
tell
about
what
the.
time it
By the way,
is.
very
Yeah.
nice of the people who showed up yesterday.
Yeah.
Green-eyed girl, Judy,
Oh yeah, it was a
and
nice to
she
meet
brought
Judy
a friend,
eventually.
and Bonnie was out
I
there.
understand that you gave Bonnie a lift.
I
That
gave
was
Bonnie a
very
lift.
kind.
She told me you were heading up there at like 8 in the or some bull.
Well,
all
16.
that,
We had to do some
oh,
work
okay.
on the app, and
I figured you just didn't want to go out of your way to pick her up. No, you're very nice like that.
no, it was a good crowd out there yesterday. Thanks to all the show supporters. Tom T came out.
Yeah,
and,
nice to see
He
the
looked
kids
like
on
he
the
had
team.
something working there with.
well,
Yeah, he was with Bert for a
he's
while.
jacked
Perfect.
up because he's got a lot of different irons in the fire going. He's got the Nobo Brewing. I think he's doing for Preakness Day
Yeah, he's
tomorrow.
at that copper, whatever that is.
Well, Nobo Brewing
Nobo.
is up in Boynton. It's
Yeah.
separate. Copper Point he does sometimes, but tomorrow, Saturday, I
At
think
Anchors Away. Has
No
been a
Early in the
Brewing.
week, he does anchor away.
Nobo Brewing for one of his patented crawfish boils, seafood boils. He might even be doing crabs.
Do you get into
Preakness.
that, the crawfish boil?
I love everything. Yeah,
You do, yeah,
I
okay.
like seafood. It's keto friendly. Defo.
Oh,
Oh, very
of
good. Yeah,
course.
you could eat all of that
Yeah,
you want.
all that-
Buy 10 pounds. It's a discount. How many
Eat 'em
pounds
like
of crawfish
peanuts.
would be like a normal amount in one order? I mean,
So,
A pound?
a snack or a side dish is considered like a pound. If you're going to be having it as a main meal with maybe some of the little sausage, potatoes, and
Yeah.
corn, they usually say like 2 pounds,
2 pounds
2.5
doesn't? Okay.
Michelle, she buys them by the bucket, like 5 pounds, and just chows down on the whole 5 pounds. Maybe gives my daughter 1 pound of it. Some people just can go plow through them, and they just love them.
Really?
like a lot of work, right?
And it's
I
amazing
know.
to think you could go to the Anchors Away dive bar. Just the name alone suggests that you're probably not getting great food there, although it's not always the case, with these kind of places. But and then there's Tommy T, man, bringing you New Orleans.
Yep.
Practically to my doorstep. It's
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
so
not far from
tempting
you
to
at
go
all.
there every
He's-
Saturday. Yeah.
Personally, he's going to be at Nobo tomorrow, but he has a crew set up to
Oh, yeah.
sell
His food will
products
be there.
at Anchors Away.
It is great.
He is now, he's branching out. So he's got
Good
these
for him.
multiple locations, and then sometimes it's at Copper Point Brewing up in Boynton, and now Anchors Away Dive Bar in Deerfield. And it's
All
great.
nice places too.
And it seems like more things might be happening the way he was talking with.
Bert and he,
Noted.
they
They
were
went
in
and had
like
a
deep
freaking
discussions.
meeting.
Yeah.
And
So-
the funny part is it's a small world that, of course, they know each other because Tom worked for Bert at one point
Oh,
at
that's
various restaurants.
Turns out a good friend of ours who we've done broadcasts with was on our show with you this
Great
morning.
Greek.
The Greek, good friends with Bert Rappaport.
Yeah.
And wow, the stories about the early 80s in Miami just brought back amazing memories of what an eye-opener was for me to come here. L.A. was wild. But this was a different kind of wild back then.
Well,
And, he experienced a lot of it, which was incredible.
some restaurants, now have the BOGO where you buy one, get one special of cheesesteaks or wings or something like that. But back in the 80s, it was a BOGO on 8 balls of cocaine. It was
It was a little pricey back then, but not like,
it was
like
actually
it became, yeah.
it was cheap because it was everywhere. I remember, not that I did it. Cocaine was the one drug it never agreed with me.
Unfortunately, it agreed with me very well. I'm amazed I'm still here today.
People was
Michael,
doing it
man.
on
I
air.
remember
Wow.
being at a party.
You want to
when
go on a diet
when
for
I
a few days?
first got here in
Yeah.
'89. Not that we condone any of this
No,
use. Just say no. It's a
clean,
horrible
say
thing.
no.
No,
but-
I mean, I wish I hadn't done it, but I did enjoy it.
But I remember
will say,
being at
yeah.
Easter.
a party down in Kendall, and somebody was like,
Oh,
they had
jeez.
selling an 8-ball for $25.
No,
like,
that couldn't be.
look,
no.
well, maybe it was.
Yeah.
baking
Yeah,
soda,
well,
who knows?
it wasn't.
I used to get it straight off the Colombian vine and from this
All
guy,
right.
and it was like 200 a quarter. So and that was the cheapest price. I could sell 3 grams for 75 and have a free 8-ball. It was very-
And now,
man.
our
Let's,
first hint, our first
Our
trivia.
first end of the
Bring it
day.
back.
Now the
Tip of
restaurant
the
of the day.
day.
Yeah. This was the early 80s, but Rappaport, illustrated that period of time
he
very
brought it
well.
up.
Yeah, yeah.
Different time and place. I mean, the cocaine
Making millions. You know
cowboys.
what I loved about the guy, though? He's still doing it, loves it. He wouldn't have to work at all, right? He's got Max's Grill in Meisner Park. They got to be a gold mine and a piece of that. And he had several other restaurants.
Decade
I think
He
Decade
has a
84
bunch
does
of
well.
other places still.
He still he reopened the Prezzo in Boca Raton,
And he
He's
loves
partnered up
working.
with other. Yeah,
He loves being there because he wanted to be around the people. That's a great thing about the restaurant business.
same thing with our friend Anthony.
Yep.
Bruno.
Yeah.
Runway 84. These guys, they're people pleasers, and
I
they
like
want to
it.
go around. They want to press the flesh. They want to see people enjoying themselves. That's why
Well,
they
that's
call
really
it.
admirable. It's
They
nice.
call it the
Yeah.
hospitality
Yeah.
business for a
Right.
reason. And
Joe Beja's
Well,
like
I was
that.
gonna just say that's what
Joe
Joe brings that exact
Beja,
air. Dave as well.
Joey Esposito.
Oh, Joey Esposito,
I mean,
classic
you go into
example, yeah.
Cafe Seville,
Jack Studiali,
Jack
same thing.
Studiali. I
Yep,
mean,
yep,
these
yep.
are the people we like to associate ourselves
Brian
with.
over at Wicked
Or
Cheese
Mark's
Steaks.
Yeah,
with
same
grandpas,
thing.
they're great about it.
Grandpa's
I mean,
guys.
these are all people classic
You
hospitality.
notice a common thread, though?
They're all our sponsors.
They all
but-
like the track.
They do like to track.
I don't know
too.
about Bruno so much, but the rest of them.
Oh,
yeah.
but he
No,
leans.
they all look.
Falsetto, he dabbles in
They
a little.
enjoy life. They like living life, and that means being around party crowds and gambling crowds and all that stuff.
And they know how to create a festive and accommodating atmosphere so that everybody. I mean, really, you could tell that Bert he was really into making sure that people had a good time
Oh
in
yeah,
his places.
yeah,
Yeah.
and he's a very,
Great
very
job, yes.
Like 20 after.
understated,
Doug at
mild,
Delaware Chicken Farm.
mild-mannered
I
man.
mean, same kind of guy.
Oh,
yeah.
Doug Carter also,
Yeah.
guy that he's in his 80s and
Pat
he loves
Utter,
being at the
shenanigans.
store every day. Pat
Yeah.
Utter, he's loving life now that he's down to one store, and it's the same.
He could sell that
syndrome.
place tomorrow for the land alone and make him, enough to live the
But he
rest of
doesn't
his
want
life.
to.
But what
Yeah.
Bert was saying was that when he had 14 restaurants that he was operating, he was miserable because he couldn't be at every one.
I like
he couldn't
that.
spend
Yeah.
enough time
I thought that was
to
cool.
know all the guests and know all the workers' names. And he says now he's happier where he's just basically down to
It's
four
four.
in this tight circle. Same thing with Pat when he had the original other shenanigans that's now gone. But he says now that it's down to just one, his life is so simple. He says his quality of life is
Yeah.
just immeasurably better. He's texting me like every night about the Heat and the Panthers. He's giddy about this. I mean,
I would be
obviously-
too if I
The
owned a
restaurant
restaurant,
tour
yeah,
or the
especially
sports
one that was
bar.
known as
Yeah.
kind of a sports bar, whether he
Yeah.
calls it a pub or not.
Sports gastropub is what he.
This
calls it.
should be catching on though to sensational proportions.
It finally
in South Florida.
is.
I mean,
It finally is.
tonight, I mean, every bar should be packed.
Here's the thing that I've noticed, and I guess I don't know if it's just a function of different times, but has anybody seen any of those car banners? The
I haven't seen any of
flags
That I
that.
on
haven't
No,
the
seen.
I haven't
windows?
seen that.
Remember in '96 for
Oh
both
yeah.
the Panthers, and then later on in the '90s when the Heat would be going on these
Oh, that was
playoff
great,
runs.
man. The flags.
Every car would have those flag banners
Yeah.
flapping in the breeze, wedged in there. I think I saw one in the last
I've
week.
seen more Israeli flags hanging from people's
I've
mirrors.
seen more
And,
Venezuelan
yeah,
and
yeah.
Colombian flags.
They do
lately.
that with baseball. They Latin
I was gonna
people. They
say-
really parade
Well,
down there, which is
during
great.
the baseball World Series. You
Yeah.
saw a lot of the flagship, people waving their banners and having it on cars. But I don't know. Is it just because there's no more sports authorities left that
Yes.
they've all gone bankrupt? So that there's
I
no
did
more.
see some homage being paid to the Panthers and the Heat by people hanging giant signs when I did that little Martin Sheen ride down the Intercoastal the other
is
last
it on
week. That
boats?
was yeah,
It's
on a boat.
boats.
Not the
Nice.
boat so much,
Oh,
but
look
the
at
houses
this.
had
Oh,
some.
we have a food delivery.
Oh, look
Excellent.
out.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes.
Wow.
All right. Yes.
Nice.
Appreciate it. We got sandwiches.
Perfect,
on the
man.
way.
You better
Nice.
eat all of this.
I
man.
need a
Yeah,
sandwich.
Yeah. Oh,
That's
look
great.
at that.
No, it's not
salad.
sandwiches.
Oh, great. No, salad.
Salad. Oh,
Joe
both.
must have known.
Oh,
He's
Mayo.
following my.
Oh, no.
What
Thank
is
you so
going
much.
on?
Come
And
on,
what's your
Joe.
name?
What are we doing?
Well, we're not in this
Clara.
game.
Thank you. Thank you for this
Thank
week's
you.
delivery.
I
We're not
can't
in
stand
this
Mike
game.
Mayo.
Great concessions
This is
and
annoying.
food service stands here at Gulfstream Park.
Perfect.
Oh,
Come
this
on
is,
out. They
this is
have
the
live,
one we had originally.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, this is from a
racing
different
halls.
place.
live racing every Thursday through Sunday now during the Royal Palm
Misaki.
meet. So again,
Yeah,
live
yeah,
racing 4 days a week at
Thank you.
Gulfstream Park.
Thanks
and
very
you
much.
can get all your great dishes, and of course you can come up to 10 Palms.
Oh, thank goodness. Someone
for the
has,
Sunday
at least
brunch.
there's rice in this thing.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
So
unbelievable.
here we go.
This guy.
What were we talking about? Oh, yeah. So
The
the
clues,
flags, the
the
banners,
restaurant.
Yeah.
playoff fever. I have playoff fever after staying up till like 1:30 in the morning and not
Yeah.
even getting a result. But cheers to the Panthers. I mean,
Yeah,
That was great,
shows
huh?
such remarkable.
that was
grit.
amazing.
That was,
To have
that was
to
such
have-
a great effort all the way
They get-
around. Yeah.
Again,
to have
this-
that goal taken away, which
This is an opener on the road against a very tough team. They get stacked against them, a 5-on-3
was a
situation where
joke.
they give up a goal, so they're in the hole. They score 2 goals to take the lead. They give up an equalizer in the third. They go to overtime. They score the apparent winner and have it called back on a bogus interference call. Not bogus.
like Defo's not wrong. There was interference,
It
but
was
again,
debatable. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't have called it, but if you did call it, it wasn't like it was totally unjustified.
it
one
was
of
just
those-
annoying because
Same thing with that Ekblad cross check that led to the 5-on-3.
It could go either way.
Yeah.
My thing
Playoffs,
was this.
though.
I think me and you saw it the same way, and I'm astounded that like all these analysts, like not one of them pointed out that he was kind of pushed into the goalie. He made a move to try to get his leg
Quickly.
away.
He got out
and
of
he
there quickly.
quickly rolled
Quickly.
and got out of the
But he
crease
did brush
entirely.
the guy while he
And
was
is
in the
it,
paint there. Yeah.
Okay, but it's as much the fault as the defender. It's like in horse racing when the stewards they got the inquiry sign
It
up.
was Argentine tango.
If
a
two
little less,
horses
yeah, egregious in that.
collide, but like both jockeys are hitting the horses with the opposite hand stick so that they veer into each other, you call that's a no DQ.
It was
because
like a
it's both
charge,
horses' fault.
charge foul, versus a block.
Well, the bottom line is
tough
the
call to make.
Panthers. Nothing phases them.
they
They
didn't even
they
they
have
just kept
the
going.
magic. They kept going. They didn't cave. They didn't whine. They just went out and 4
you see
hours
Paul
later
Maurice?
and 4 periods later and overtime, that Matt Kachuk, who is a great leader, he goes out, he scores. They're up 1-0. The Heat are up 1-0, and everybody just keep disbelieving them at your own peril. Because as a sports fan, and I know this is the food show, and some people aren't into
We
sports,
won't talk much
but
sports.
do yourself a favor. Watch these teams and enjoy it because you're not gonna get a run
Never
like
seen
this.
anything like
This
this.
is
yeah,
amazing.
yeah,
ever
amazing.
again. So
42
enjoy
years
it
here.
while you can.
Fantastic.
And now it's time for the contest.
All right, what about the contest? I'm going to open up one of these things, man. I
You
hope
open
not
it
to
up.
attract
For it. I
clients.
love
Don't
it.
eat
And
my
aggressive
protein.
eating.
These
now.
are the
all the
bowls
rice
that come
you
from
want.
that.
We're sharing the
place
proteins.
on the
It's
first
not our
floor,
fault
right?
you won't eat rice
There you
because something's wrong
All
with
right,
you.
well,
Yeah.
you guys must be hungry. My phone is overheating. It won't even let me
Yeah, no,
look
it's
at
not
it.
good.
It's like
yeah,
12:30. It's
All
around
right,
12:30.
so first clue. It feels like it's going to explode. Maybe
Wow,
in my
this looks
pocket.
good.
Just put it in your pocket.
All
let
right,
it
all
go.
right, here we go. Everybody knows how it works. It is the Lunchbox Gulfstream 10 Palm Sunday Brunch Giveaway.
Oh, it smells good.
This week we're going
Wow.
to go back to 3 components because they got it during the Kentucky Derby. So we're going to have a series of questions. Question. What the hell is going on with
Are
me?
you all
Let me
right?
have
You want me
another
to bang
sip.
you
I might
down?
be
You're
having a
losing-
stroke.
yeah, it
could
sounds
be
like
heat
you're,
stroke.
I got
Let me have a little sip of Bloody Mary. That'll
Does
rejuvenate
stuff come
the
with
soul.
napkins? No.
There's a whole bunch
okay.
of napkins.
There you go. He's got napkins.
I
He
need
wants
them.
it all.
Oh, give me one of those wet naps too there for my head.
Wet naps.
I want to put one on my forehead.
Okay, so you guys know the drill.
Okay.
Yeah.
Series of questions that's going to be asking about a restaurant. Then it's going to be picking a horse for the feature race at Gulfstream, which this week it's going to be a 11-horse field. The last race of the day, the $75,000 Roar Stakes, the 12th race at Gulfstream.
Okay.
You're going to give a number between 1 and 11. And as the first tiebreaker this week, we're going to want the winner of the Preakness Stakes, the second leg of the Triple Crown.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's tiebreaker.
That's going to be the tiebreaker.
It's
Okay.
fine. Don't,
Who's
And
the
it
guy that
worked
hit
out
both
last
last time?
time.
Yeah.
That was Ronnie Kaplan,
2
Man.
weeks ago.
who was able to crush it. He got the long shot winner of the Gulfstream feature, the long shot winner of the Kentucky Derby, which both happened to be the number 8. And he won without even going into the hat. It was just boom. So maybe the same
He
thing.
deserved that win. I mean,
will
that was a
happen
big
this week.
win. Yeah.
So again, it's numbers 1 through 11 for the Gulfstream race, numbers 1 through 8 for the Preakness, and here we go. for this week's restaurant, we salute Maryland and its signature dishes
All right.
with a South Florida seafood mainstay.
In Maryland?
No.
Okay.
It's a South Florida,
Florida,
seafood mainstay. Try to follow along.
I'm
Defo, I
trying.
know that you're a little bit
I'm chowing on this
slower
stuff. It's
than
great.
most of the rest of the audience. Maybe we'll have you take your shirt off.
No.
Okay.
You did that. That
That
enough.
was a morning thing. This Lantana restaurant just off of I-95 has been around longer than 40 years, since
Lantana.
1982, and bills itself as South Florida's, quote, only authentic Maryland-style crab house, featuring blue crab steamed in beer, vinegar, J.O. Spice, which is a particular brand of Old Bay that is near and dear to Marylanders' hearts. Yeah, and other seasonings. It also features crab cakes, crab au gratin, crab imperial, and
Crab au
soft
gratin.
shell
That's
crabs
interesting.
in season. Again, it is this Lantana restaurant just off I-95 has been around since 1982 and builds itself as South Florida's, quote, only authentic Maryland-style crab house, featuring blue crab steamed in beer, vinegar, J.O. Spice, which is an Old Bay spice, and other seasonings. So that's clue number one. Do you have a clue?
I don't know the place.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't think I'll get it no
You
matter
don't
what.
venture up to Palm Beach County that much?
Lantana seafood joint, classic. I would
Literally,
think
you
maybe
can
I'd heard
see
of
it while you're driving up 95 if you ever go up to the dog track in Palm Beach,
Done now?
which I assume you have been.
Oh yeah.
You can see this restaurant as from the highway as you're driving.
Now, when you're in Maryland, are you inclined to order oysters or crab?
Crabs all the way.
Okay.
Never oysters.
But the Maryland oysters are also very
Isn't
different.
that a thing?
Delaware Bay oysters are okay, but I wouldn't say when I go to Baltimore, it's either one of two things. It's the steamed blue crabs,
Right.
and you get it at a place called O'Bricky's.
Okay.
There's also a place called Cantlers, which is outside of Baltimore, near Annapolis, under a bridge on Route 50. Great place. Cantlers, O'Bricky's, but yeah, blue crab steamed and crab cakes. Those are my
Crab cakes,
go-tos.
yeah. How do you like your crab cakes? I mean, I would crunchy, right? Would be
No, I
first
want 'em
criteria for Mike Mayo.
in a skillet, but again, they should be very little breading, less than 10%.
Really?
Is
All right.
filling, less than 10%. It
See?
should be basically nothing but lump crab meat, maybe just a little bit of binder with the breading, and you throw it in a pan and fry them up and get that.
Is that
crispy-
because whenever I've had crab cakes, I feel like it's the opposite.
Well, that's
I feel like
because
it's a
you've
lot
had
of filling.
bad.
They're usually
crab
heavily
cakes.
fried. Yeah.
They're
no.
heavily fried, a lot of breading or what filler.
What about baked? Can you get them baked?
Mhm.
I like them baked.
Of course, you
Yeah.
like a bake.
No, I do. I like them baked.
Yeah.
Without so much fried stuff on them. You know,
I'd rather
I
be
like
more
the taste of crab meat more than
No,
crab
the,
meat,
the
but-
traditional crab cake up there, and they served them at the Preakness when I was covering racing, and I did a couple of Preaknesses for the Sun Sentinel. And in the press box after the race, when you were writing up your story,
crab
they
cakes?
would have this crab
Oh.
cake buffet. You just go up there
Ooh.
and pans of from a local restaurant caterer that it was just like almost pure lump crab meat, little bit of binder, a little bit of Old Bay, a nice little crunch, and man, I had about 40 of them, and that was keto friendly too. So
This is
without the
a
breading.
great job they've done here.
This is
We had this
delicious.
stuff. This was like the original dish that Joe Beja
It's
brought
the
out.
bowl place, like in the front.
And these are tremendous balls. Yeah,
Good.
fantastic.
I'm
Really
glad you
So
tasty.
remember,
enjoy it.
Mike Mayo eats at gmail.com.
Oh,
by
thank you.
12
I
o'clock
forgot to
And then
tonight.
you need the winner of like the next 10
It's the
races.
12th race.
at
Just worry about the
Pimlico.
Give me
12th
the pick
race.
5. No,
Yeah,
okay.
Twin
Worry
pick
about
10.
the 12th race tomorrow, Gulfstream.
I'll give you more clues after the break, but again,
You
this
probably
is
either know it by now or you don't,
Lantana.
right?
No, I'm going to give
No, we get
everybody
two
a
more
hint
clues.
next time. You know, one of
That
those
will-
patents
oh,
and
yeah.
We'll get
radio
2
hints
clues.
Gives it
that
away.
will give you the name of it. Okay.
I have a complete blank on this one.
Okay.
Yeah, I have no idea.
So, hey, let's talk about winners. Tropical Acres Steakhouse.
Wow.
They are the place to go this weekend because tonight, not only can you get happy hour on the bar on a Friday night from 4:30 to 6:30 with half price drinks
On a
including
Friday.
all the
That's crazy
premium-
that they do that on a Friday.
Also on a Friday night, they have their twin lobster special. They just put it on the menu. It's back.
That's such a great deal.
Summertime treat. 2 whole steamed Maine lobsters, £1.25, that you get with a side dish and a salad for $39. And they have that running Monday through Friday, that special, including tonight, Friday night. Can't beat that deal. Go in with a friend or your better half or a date and get a little piece of the prime rib, filet mignon, rack of lamb, along with that lobster, and you have yourself a premium surf and turf feast. You can't do better than
I kind of like eating the 2 lobsters. to be
I was
honest
gonna
with you.
say,
I don't
you
need the
could-
steak. Yeah.
You convinced me in that, and they make a great fillet. But who gives up a lobster?
You know what's
I
great?
gave up a lobster
You have
to
a whole
you.
lobster, and then you still have a whole nother one.
Right.
Yes.
That's
you could
the beauty.
take it home.
Yeah.
You could play with it. You could have it sing to you.
Well,
No,
with air
it's
fryers,
fantastic.
no, you can
Yeah.
reheat things that you never thought you could reheat.
It's
You
good
could
for another
peel
day
out
or
the
so.
meat and make yourself a lobster roll.
Right.
Exactly.
Or
Or
put
you can
it
have
in a
Mayo
lettuce leaf.
convince you to do something that you may or may not want to do
Right.
because it benefits him.
That's it. Tropical Acres has been in business for 74
I didn't want to say what I was
years.
thinking there.
74 years. Since 1949. The Studiali family have run it for decades. They do a great job. Talk about class, exuding class. The hospitality business that runs through all their veins. You've got Jack and his sons, Joe and Jackson, his adopted son that he calls him, that was featured on Channel 10 last week with beautiful story.
I can't believe Weinstein did something so positive.
Yeah, it was a very, very
What happened
nice,
to him?
heartfelt story. I don't
Did
know.
he owe somebody money? What was the deal?
Tropical Acres is at
Normally he's burying people. Yeah.
2500 Griffin Road, just west of the airport of 995. They're open every day except Sunday. They also have a butcher shop if you want to run in there and get some steaks to throw on the grill at home. They'll take great care of you. Service, old school hospitality, great value. Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
All right, more clues in the contest and more conversation here. Mike Mayo's Lunchbox is this is exceptional, Lubie, would you say? I mean,
Yeah, this
there
is
are three
great.
dishes sitting here. Mayo's plate is the only one that hasn't
There's
got
still
like even a
protein
mark
and
on it,
peppers.
man. I mean,
Need some protein.
it's like they just rolled out for opening day at Roland Garros, and they don't have a mark on the court. And now there he goes. Okay,
no
good.
Rafa there. No Nadal.
Rafa's out, man. He's about done.
He may
says he's
retire, yeah.
retiring soon. All right, more on Mike Mayo's Lunchbox from Gulfstream Park. Beautiful place and all kinds of racing action. Exciting weekend with the Preakness, and we'll be back with more in a moment.
They must be starting a race behind them.
Beach Cafe. It's a South Florida landmark, and it's one happy restaurant right on the water. Tables literally on the beach. A place where you could dip your toes in the sand, kick back, relax with island vibes, tropical drinks, and live music daily. You know it. It's at One Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea. And of course, it has Chef Chris Nealon and his famed Caribbean Floridian cuisine. The huge menu with something for everyone. Seafood, raw bar, conch fritters, burgers, sandwiches, salads, deli specials, and of course, that famous Bimini bread. They've got a great staff that'll take great care of you. There's something to celebrate every day, open 7 days until late, parking available on site, happy hour weekdays 4 to 7 p.m. Go check out more at arubabeachcafe.com. Better yet, go in there yourself at Aruba Beach Cafe. Good food, drinks, friends, and laughter are always the catch of the day. When people come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. Go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the blackened grilled wings, and of course, the kitchens are open late. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Mayo here for Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. Since 1951, family owned for over 70 years, the home of freshness. I've been a customer for over 3 decades, and it's the place to go for poultry, steaks, meats, and of course, their unbelievable selection of fish and seafood. They've got it all. Key West pink shrimp, grouper, snapper, lobster, and of course, Florida stone crab claws of all sizes. Don't forget their famous fish dip and a full selection of prepared foods. It's located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, just across from the Seminole Classic Casino. Owner Doug Carter and crew will take great care of you. Make sure to check out their weekly specials and daily catch online at DelawareChicken.com. Quality, value, freshness, that's the Delaware way. Tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. Do you like pizza? Who doesn't like pizza? Well, my spot for pizza is the Pizza Spot. It's in that little bit hard to find Riverside Park neighborhood of Fort Lauderdale, but it's totally easy to love. It's at 601 Southwest 12th Avenue, New Haven style, a pizza from Wade and Reese. It's a lovely outdoor spot. You could also pick up pies to go at 754-779-7788, 754-779-7788. Again, they're open every day but Monday for lunch and dinner. Some of the best pizza I've ever had. Go to Pizza Spot. They also have subs, salads, and more. Tell them the Gambling Gourmet sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, that's my spot. It's upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you.
On the Lunchbox on a Friday at Gulfstream, I'm here with all my friends. Been abandoned.
I'm here.
I know. Lubie's here. Defo's off. I don't know if he passed out. We might.
I talked to him. He's fine. He's coming back now. He just hit on some double. He yelled something about a double.
To be gambling. You know, we just can't keep him away from the machines. Even under the doctor's orders, say no superfectors. He just can't keep himself punching and punching. How are you ever going to get better there, Defo, if you keep using that paw? You mastered the art of the left-handed superfecta. Is that what's happening?
No, the hand's actually fine. I mean, this is just for decoration now to help me get sympathy from chicks, but it's like having a puppy on a rope in the quad. I don't know, you probably did this in your days in college there at Tufts.
I did it with an iguana. I had a pet iguana.
That always works. Yeah,
only you had an iguana.
Lets the girl know right away that you might have some kinky tendencies, you know, that you have an iguana on a rope. But no, I cashed another small ticket. I had wheeled a 4 to 5 shot in the second race, was a 7 ball. So
Nobody
I went for my 7-5, and I did hit it. So it was good.
Good. More money in your pocket.
It's not enough. The 5 was nowhere to be seen in the second leg.
Can we leave? Let's lay odds, Lubie, on him having any money left at the end of the weekend. After
no, it's going to be big. We're going to hit.
Okay.
The Preakness. We got
Think positive. Think positive.
Okay, I'm good. I don't mean to bring it down. I'm here to be a
bastion. I mean, you're going to get moody with this strange diet.
Speaking of that, we got the Hunch Play of the Day coming up.
Okay.
Second race today at Gulfstream. They're getting ready to run the first here in a few minutes at 12:50. Second race, I've backwheeled all in the double with this horse. It's called Don't Be So Grouchy.
What number
is there
is that?
a better horse for me? I think it's number 2, but don't hold me to it because I can't remember. But I did use it in the double with every horse in the first
Depending
leg.
on the infusion of government money into your bank account, that also has an impact on what level of
of
mood that you're in. Yeah,
I'm in a pretty good mood today.
You are, yeah, very unusual.
And I'm still waiting to hear back on just the regular insurance, so it's all good. Everything is.
By the way, it's only 10-cent supers that causes the problem.
Oh, okay.
Like if you're punching doubles or exactas,
you got to do the $5 doubles. That's
right.
The key to health and getting your wrist nursed back to good health. All right, let's get the end of this contest.
I want the other 2 hints.
Yeah, get this going because the people want to win.
Yeah, and again,
Handyman says he already knows. I'm curious if anyone else.
Yeah, because he lives up in Palm Beach County.
It's
he
his
knows
neck of the woods.
All these people. It seems like I don't like to cast
Yeah.
aspersions on anybody, but based on user behavior and what I see at on Let's Eat South Florida, which. Yes, it is a little bit Broward centric, but it's not exclusive to Broward. Somebody last week,
it goes points.
Somebody last week was saying, "Shouldn't the group rename Let's Eat Broward County?"
No,
and it's like, no, dude.
We're down to do Miami.
Yeah,
we're down to do Palm Beach.
Sure, 50% of the members are from Broward, and I guess most of the discussion or restaurant reviews.
I want to cash
but you know, but again, if you look on there, there's lots of Palm Beach County restaurants, lots of Boca, lots of Delray,
as we did yesterday,
lots of West Palm.
In the next
lots
coming
of
months,
Miami and Miami-Dade.
We had Burger Beast
so
on.
I
We talked
challenged
Miami.
this guy, and I said, no, it shouldn't be named that. It's like, while it seems like most members are from Broward, and maybe a lot of the discussion and reviews are focused on Broward restaurants, it's by no means all of them. It's not even a super majority, and that maybe it's your own algorithms that point you to Broward restaurants because maybe that's all you look at and you're a Broward person.
Delray's like Palm Beach too, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
we
Palm
were
Beach County
again
Boca.
yesterday. We dove into Palm Beach. In the coming months, we have things working where we're going to be more.
It chafes me a little because it seems like people in Fort Lauderdale think that Fort Lauderdale is the only place that exists. They never put the city Fort Lauderdale. They just assume everybody knows it.
Wow.
I'm chiding my members now. Don't be so grouchy, Mike. That's the name of the horse. And the bottom line was,
we're all about South Florida.
It's a regional group. You could talk about restaurants in the Keys. You can even talk about restaurants
which
in
we have
out of the state.
Which we have.
Yeah.
We have.
Where do I go when I'm eating in Cleveland? People put up
it's
a
about
bunch of
food and wherever you go.
And again, it's not limited to Broward County. So what was that leaving me? Right. And even our restaurant answers, the trivia questions, sometimes lead to other places. So this week we're going to Palm Beach County. And like you said, if you know the restaurant answer and then you pick the 2 horse races, the feature at Gulfstream tomorrow, the 12th race, numbers 1 through 11, and then the Preakness Stakes, numbers 1 through 8.
And also the 2024 election.
No, don't do that.
No.
That might be a little bit depressing.
Just the 2 races.
Yeah. Just the 2 races.
Just the 2 races and the restaurant answers. And send it to Mike Mayo Eats.
Which he does.
One word together. Mike Mayo Eats at gmail.com. Send it to me by noon tomorrow. Not 12:01. You will be disqualified because I am.
Just do it today.
Yeah, do it today.
This is really getting pathetic, though, Lubie. I mean, he's got a fork stuck in his stuff.
I'm trying to disregard it.
Just live off the plate. No rice.
No rice.
The stuff's delicious, by the way. I mean, if you came to a racetrack back in the day and you thought about getting something like this, that wasn't happening.
No.
This Joe Beja has stepped up the game here at Gulfstream Park to the point where, I mean, you don't have to go out for lunch before you come out here, man. It's fantastic.
No.
And reasonable, too. I mean, really, really good.
This is the bowl place. So you're ready to drop.
The bowl place is great.
My mouth is filled with protein. So let me get
Let's do both hints. 2 and 3.
hints going.
All right.
Let me wash it down with a little Bloody Mary. Excuse me, folks.
There's a joint in Lantana.
While I get ready, do you got any food plans tonight? You going out?
What's interesting is my wife is actually, I think she just got to the airport now. She's headed toward her homeland, Dominican Republic, to do a Las Primas vacation excursion. Her sister, and her cousin are going to do a resort fun-filled weekend. I don't know.
Where was your invite, Louis?
Yeah, that's interesting. Is it a weekend if you come back Tuesday? Because she wanted to. She kept using the term weekend, but she's gone 5 freaking days.
I think that's called a hint.
I think that's called I think that's called a week, is what that's called.
It's called the dissolution of marriage.
Yeah.
It's called. Let's see. Lubie's not invited, and it goes till Tuesday. I definitely call that a hint.
No, her sister slept at our home, so her sister is going on this trip, and her cousin I know is in the trip. So it is a family trip. They are being honest about that.
You're not considered family?
The problem is none of the, my sister-in-law's husband couldn't go, and the cousin doesn't have a boy. So it was going to be, I was going to be the one dude, and it's like, I don't care because they're all family, but let them have some time.
Have a good bachelor's weekend.
Well, and the Heat played twice. Well, the reality is the Heat played twice, so I get to do whatever the hell I want for 2 Heat games, and that's how I'm looking at it. And the Panthers will play, I think, twice as well during that time. So she's gone. I'm trying to figure out my food plans actually, so that's why I'm glad we're here.
Whatever you want if she's gone. Yes. Go crazy because isn't she on some
she's just always on
weird
something.
diet?
She's always on something.
Okay.
There's always something going on. She's fakakta with
just get
the
like
way
5
she eats food.
pizzas and a bunch of wings and just go shirtless and smear it on your body and roll around and
go out, operate it still,
clean the pool yourself.
Still.
All right.
Still.
No, it's a Lantana restaurant off I-95. Been around since '82. Bills itself as South Florida's only authentic Maryland-style crab house. And they have the blue crabs that are steamed in beer, vinegar, and the J.O. spice, which is a very particular brand of the Old Bay seasoning that Baltimore. It's made in Baltimore. People in Baltimore love it. All right. Number 2.
Number 2. See if this helps.
I think I'm just choking on the
there's a leaf.
Celery.
The leaf. Okay,
no, it's the celery. Is the anticipation killing you like it was us at the beginning of the week?
Maybe I would use the word annoying, but short killing, annoying.
Not highly professional.
It's a no frills place. I love places like this, kind of bare bones atmosphere. It also has a seafood market attached.
Oh, nice.
So you can find a seafood market attached to it, but you won't find any former Washington Redskins offensive lineman known as the Hogs blocking for a tough as nails running back. That might have something to do with the name of the restaurant.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. So, no frills place, a seafood market attached to it, but you won't find any former Redskins offensive Hogs linemen blocking for this tough as nails running back. That might have something to do with the name of the restaurant.
Wow. Okay.
That's two.
And
I
you want to
think
hear the third one? Let's
Yeah,
just get
let's
it.
knock it out.
throw it out there.
Okay, that's it. I
lost.
got no
Yeah.
more clues. Just enjoy
Oh,
the
it's just
Preakness
two.
and
Right.
your Maryland style, blue style.
Who are you picking,
crabs.
by the way?
I
You
have
got to
no
give us
idea.
that later on.
Oh, yeah. So as I discussed on your morning show, Mage, I don't think is the right particular kind of horse for the Preakness.
No sexiness in bet.
Usually speed favoring track. Mage is more of an off-the-pace runner. I expect him to run well and come late. I don't think he's going to win. I don't want to take him if he's anything less than 5-2.
Which he will be.
So going to use him in some of the trifectas and exactas. But is the man basically I'm going to go for a longer price shot to win the race. And I think there's two of them I like, which is Blazing Sevens is a Chad Brown, a trained runner. Chad Brown in the past has brought some fresh shooters into the Preakness and won. And he has this Blazing Sevens actually ran in the Florida Derby, didn't run well. And then he came back, and I think he ran a better race and finished third in the Bluegrass Stakes at Keeneland to Tapit Trice. I think this horse is well meant. He will be close to the pace, and I think he can win the race at odds of 6 or 7-1 or better. I also like a Bob Baffert horse called National Treasure?
Yeah.
A horse
Which
that
you are at this point.
he's
You've
been
become a
overhyped.
proclaimed national treasure.
They had big expectations. There's Nick Galati. He has a horse. He's assistant trainer now for what's her name?
Don't get distracted.
Darn it. Well, he's got a horse running in this race.
Oh,
He
yeah?
didn't
Nice.
text me if he's going to be a runner,
Uh-oh.
but
Well, he's right there. So if we go to break,
He's
you can
right
go talk
there,
to
so
him.
you can kill him if he's
talk
wrong.
to him. Yes.
Yeah.
So where was I before I got?
You were
horse?
giving
We're
a
talking about the
clue, and you were
races.
talking about the
You were talking about
Preakness,
the
and then
races.
also about your
so
keto
the other horse I
diet.
like is National Treasure, the one horse. I think he's going to show speed. I think Baffert's going to have him fully cranked. Baffert couldn't run anything in
Yep,
the
so
Derby
he's ready
because
to go.
still suspended.
Yep.
He wants to prove a point and maybe hoist a Triple Crown jug in the winner's circle in Maryland. So National Treasure, the number one, and 7 Blazing Sevens is my exacta box. I'm going to wheel them with basically a bunch of other horses in the trifecta and use them in exacta boxes with Mage finishing second. And we'll see. It's the 1 and the 7 with the 3 in the Preakness Stakes. Let's see if my hot streak keeps
What
going.
time
And
are you going to
you're
have a bowel
laughing.
movement that day? I'm thinking, how much detail do we need on your bets? This
Wait,
is great.
Hot, it's me, Kettle. You like going off about you backwheeled
the
a 7 to
king,
5
bud.
shot in the third race at Pimlico on a Friday that nobody gives 2 flying.
Yeah, I do, because I had a winning ticket, and I didn't see the race, so
You
it's.
can't mock me for something
love
you
mocking
do
you.
yourself.
I
That's our
could-
favorite.
you were going into too much detail on
Our
the betting.
favorite's mocking you.
Joanne is lost here, and
I'm
she's
giving
coming
it-
out to the track.
Joanne won last week's race,
Right.
last week's
In
contest.
spite of you.
No,
Yeah.
because I give out winners, baby. I gave out no name.
You know, your
bets.
best thing, you undersold yourself because your best thing was that no Mets.
Yeah, that was a
betting
great
exacta,
call. Yeah,
which
that
was
was a great
phenomenal
call.
if you think about it.
The
I mean,
no-name
who's
Mets
giving out
mathematically
$150 exactas
That
on
was
that?
And the
great call.
trifecta was 1,400 because of
Uh,
Bob.
Mayo-
ran.
Mayo is
the
on that
breeze
one
is
now.
running. Things are flying around. Let's talk about Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood.
You're not
Market.
without merit on some of this stuff. Though.
Thank you. Thank
As much as some of the things you do seem ridiculous, I mean, some of this stuff is
Are
good.
they running here? Is it 12?
They
I
just
hear
started.
noise
Yes, they
like it
just
sounds like
started,
a
but we
race
do.
is on, yeah.
They're
Okay.
always rolling at Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. And go there for again, great place to go to pick up stuff for weekend grilling, cooking with the family. They have a full selection of not only what you expect, but the seafood, the fish, fresh fish in from all over Florida, the Keys, the Gulf Coast. They have Key West pink shrimp. They have clams and oysters. They also have Maryland crabs if you want to have a Preakness party. And, of course, the full selection of poultry and the steaks, the pork products, the sausage. All that stuff looks so good. Prepared items, roasted chicken, grab-and-go things in the case up front, including the fish dips, the salmon dips. They have it all. Price, quality, selection, service. Doug Carter and crew since the 1950s. They will take great care of you. It is at 49. Well, I don't even know anymore.
It's off
4701.
of 441.
441,
Just
just
across
south
from
of
the old
Sterling.
Seminole Casino.
Excuse me, it's been a long week.
There's
I
a
was up till
chicken.
2
It's
in the
very
morning
easy to
watching
find.
hockey.
It's super easy to find.
DelawareChicken.com for the full selection of weekly specials. And we're going to be out there next Thursday talking
Yes.
to the people from Performance Foods about their pork products coming up for the summer.
They're coming around, by the
We'll
way, Michael.
see you next week, Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
Who do you need? Who do you need? Who do you need?
And
Come
we're
on,
gonna go
we're
to
out here at
break while
Gulfstream
they
Park. They're
run
on their
this
way. Here we
race.
go.
We'll be.
How many? Oh, the 2 was your horse?
We'll be right back
The
here.
2
at
was your
Gulfstream
horse,
Park.
wasn't he?
Next race.
Looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more? Go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mike Mayo. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a good bagel with Nova or some matzo ball soup, homemade knishes, or a great deli pastrami sandwich on rye, you know where I go? Grandpa's Cafe in Dania Beach. It's been around a long time, an institution, but a little over a year ago, a pair of New Yorkers came in, bought it, and refurbished the place. It's beautiful, and they are now serving great breakfast, brunch, lunch. They've got the omelets. They've got eggs Benedict. They've got all kinds of great baked goods like rugelach. Grandpa's is just off Federal Highway on Southwest 1st Street in Dania Beach. It's open 7 days. Go in there, tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks, just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally, and they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Go in there on a Wednesday. They got buy one, get one on cheesesteaks from 5 to 8 p.m. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
We're back on the Lunchbox, and I've got my mouth full. We have the,
Not uncommon on the show. What do you got?
Sure. I don't want to choke on that.
Can you finish the show? Are you all right?
Don't choke.
I mean, the music's playing.
Isn't the music nice?
Yeah.
Breeze is nice.
And
I
finally, there's
love
a
this
breeze
hour.
there.
I love Fridays. I love you guys. We had another great week. The 2-horse won the first race, 5-2. I'm alive in the double with the Don't Be Grouchy, the number 4 in the next race. Nobody cares, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Exactly.
That's a good hunch play.
Love
Buddy.
that you give Defo crap. You both give each other
And,
crap doing the same thing.
Later in the day, Black Eyed Susan. Tomorrow, the Preakness Steaks. Again, get your contest entries in to MikeMayoEats@gmail.com by noon tomorrow. And do you know the name of the restaurant now?
I don't know.
I don't.
Oh, well, I think I do. I mean, it has to be.
Can you figure it out based on the second
the
clue?
running back clue, I mean,
Yeah.
I guess was the one.
Don't
yeah.
say the name, but after the show, if you
But
take
I still
a
don't know
wild
the
guess,
place. Yeah.
well, you should go there because it's a good.
Sounds good. Yeah.
you know,
I mean,
a lot of people know Rustic Inn, and that's
there's a lot of
here.
good seafood joints up there in that, like Jupiter.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Melbourne
Jupiter has
area.
a
It's
nice.
not bad.
Well, that's not Jupiter, Melbourne. This
No,
is
no, no.
Lantana.
No,
which
not
is
quite as far.
Right
but-
next to Boynton Beach. And,
Yeah.
you know, that would be a good place for you to kind of maybe settle down.
To Questum? Yeah, too
Yeah,
slow for
because
me.
it's a little bit, you know, more laid back. Good for kind of septuagenarian.
I don't need
like
that, man.
He
I'm,
loves
Burt
action.
Rappaport,
I'm able to operate at my slow pace while the pace is fast.
Yeah, he loves action.
Burt
He likes
Rappaport's
action more
gone
than I
from
do.
the, you know, crazy zaniness of the Miami of the 1980s, and now look at him. He's mellow up in the Delray Beach.
Well, yeah,
area.
but he's got a few $1 million behind him. He can do whatever he wants.
He's going up to the Hamptons for the summer. It's a
Oh,
nice
good for
life.
him.
Yeah, he's been traveling. I meant to ask him what's on his bucket list, but we'll get to that
What else
next
has
time.
he
Probably
done?
done
Yeah,
it.
I mean, come on.
We'll be seeing more.
We still have things to achieve, man.
We'll be seeing more of him later in the year. I have a suspicion. But
Yes, looking
anyway,
forward to it.
what a great week. Lubie, enjoy your bachelorhood this
Thank you,
weekend.
sir.
Oh,
Defo,
nice.
enjoy your degeneracy like
Oh,
every
yeah,
weekend.
no, I'm all in.
And I'm just going to try to shake off this head cold. I might play a little poker if I'm feeling up to it later.
You really should.
And I'll be eating more protein all weekend
Go
long.
Heat, go
Yeah,
Cats.
It's a little sick, yeah.
For everybody out there, enjoy every bunless sandwich.
Nice.
Sandwich. Are you kidding me?
Reach, gentlemen,